Okay, I'm Chris Walton. I'm a meditation teacher.
I'm Dan Conneely and I'm a meditation teacher.
So today we're going to talk about some of the positive reward states, experiences that you might get in a meditation practice, as opposed to some of the benefits or rewards that you might get outside of the practice, which we love to talk about, don't we?
Yeah.
So is anything coming up for you?
I really appreciate when I close my eyes to meditate, the attitude that I go into meditation with of no expectation. It's a really nice, freeing attitude to have, and you experience it within meditation. Because when thoughts arise in meditation, when I'm meditating, having an attitude of no expectation, no outcome, no goal, no wanting to achieve a particular experience, really helps me to enjoy the meditation, maybe even before I sit and close my eyes. I know that I'm already going to enjoy it because I've got no expectations in place. And that's a wonderful feeling to have in meditation when things are thrown up, such as thoughts or frustrations or something that's on your mind, your to-do lists, something that you're dealing with in life. They will come up in meditation, but understanding that that's part of the process and having an attitude of, I've got no expectations here, so therefore I can't be disappointed. I really enjoy that. I think that's a huge benefit to having meditation. One, because it enables you to enjoy your practice and approach it with a sense of ease. And secondly, because you're cultivating that attitude of no expectation in meditation, and it helps you cultivate that attitude in eyes open state as well. So you can kind of go into other areas of your life with a similar attitude of, I'm going to drop my expectations here to avoid potential disappointment when maybe that's not necessary. And that's a really nice, I just love that attitude. It's so freeing.
Yeah, no, I love that too. So I'm getting this sort of, I'm imagining that you're sort of sitting down, and lots of people have a lot of struggle with when they sit down to meditate, but to have that kind of trust and like, well, I'm going to go into this with the attitude. I have that power to have the attitude to meet whatever I need to meet, to experience whatever I want to experience, rather than that kind of attitude of I'm waiting for something or something should happen, expectations, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, maybe years ago when I started to meditate, or you kind of dabble in different types of meditations, I felt that frustration because I was trying to maybe engineer an outcome that I wasn't sure if it existed or not. What is it that people get out of meditation? What is that experience that people have that means they return to it on a regular basis?
Yeah.
Dropping all those really enables you to have a freeing experience, far more enjoyable. And if you enjoy your practice, you're more likely to maintain some level of consistency as well, rather than thinking that this might be something I'm going to introduce in my life that's going to frustrate the life out of me. And, you know, and that's really common. But cultivating that attitude, it's such a benefit in the meditation and outside of meditation. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. And for me, it comes up, I think it's the same thing we're talking about. For me, it comes up in a slightly different way, maybe. Or I'd word it slightly differently. So from a mindfulness perspective, it's kind of like I'm meeting myself. And it's, if I'm feeling a bit stressed or frustrated in my day, and then I'm not going to sort of sit down to meditate to get rid of that, or to wait for that to go, or to put pressure on that to go. But when I sit down and I'm mindful of how I feel and what I'm carrying into that, when I'm just with myself, meeting myself, I might see that frustration and think, oh, Chris is frustrated, like, oh. And to let that go in a few breaths or a moment, very rewarding. That's probably what it's all about, isn't it? That attitude, or that place you can go to that's just lets go of stuff. You go to like a calm place.
Yeah, and understanding before you close your eyes that that's the attitude that I'm going to have.
Yeah,
knowing that whatever I meet in my meditation, I think we approach thoughts that we experience or experiences that we experience in meditation slightly differently. Yours from the mindfulness angle, and mine from the self-transcending angle, with use of a mantra. So different techniques, but we experience thoughts in the same way. We will have thoughts that come up beyond our control. And it's how to navigate those in meditation with a similar attitude, albeit with maybe a slightly different technique. That you can then cultivate that attitude of ease and less frustration with thoughts outside of meditation, which is really big. I can be really happy and comfortable with the thoughts that I get in meditation. Even if they're not the nicest of thoughts, I can recognize them for what they are. They're just sensations that are occurring. They'll come and they will go. And if I can cultivate that attitude of thoughts in meditation and be at peace with them, then I can cultivate that attitude outside of meditation, so that if I have thoughts in my day-to-day life, I can have the same attitude. So that benefit that we get in meditation of our attitude to our relationship with thoughts, we can cultivate that in eyes open state as well. And the thoughts that people have outside of meditation is what it drives people crazy. It drove me mad years ago. Thoughts and thoughts and thoughts, overactive mind. Now my relationship with thoughts is totally different because of meditation and cultivating that attitude. It's so powerful.
Yeah. And what I'm thinking now is, I know the goal is not how good you feel during the meditation, it's about how it affects your life. We both love talking about that. But I'm now thinking, when you get some sort of insight, which is kind of what we're talking about there, or some knowing, an insight about yourself or your mind, that's quite rewarding. And I'm thinking now that maybe you get these little glimpses in your meditation, then that's how you then take it into life. Once you've sort of seen, I can do this when I practice at home, I can do this in my day.
Yeah. Bringing it out. And that comes on to my second point of the last 3 or 4 months in meditation. I've been experiencing a stronger and stronger and stronger feeling when I close my eyes of a really deep experience and total awareness of what's going on around me in my physical environment.
Okay.
I'm totally aware of everything that's going on, every noise, whether I'm meditating at home or whether I'm meditating, out somewhere. I'm fully aware. My awareness is really high of what's going on around me. But at the same time, my experience in meditation is that I probably couldn't open my eyes if you asked me to.
Wow.
And there's that feeling of I would struggle to open my eyes, but I've got full awareness. And it's that you've kind of got one foot in the I'm really deep in meditation and one foot in the I'm really aware of my surroundings. And that's a really good sign. That's a really good sign to have those two experiences occurring at the same time, because that means that when you bring your experience out into the world, you maintain a level of that feeling you have in meditation into your waking day.
Yeah, that's super interesting. So we're kind of talking about sort of bigger experiences now, which are very rewarding often, and very, very interesting. So tell me a little bit more about that experience. Does it feel like you're making contact with a type of peace in a way? That you can
It's really peaceful.
Yeah.
It's really, really peaceful. If we closed our eyes now, you could just imagine that if you've been meditating, say we're 10, 15, 20 minutes in, right now we can hear the traffic outside. We can hear a police siren. We can maybe hear the sounds of the kind of rush hour just starting. There's probably some internal noises within the building that we can hear as well. All of these we're fully aware of. But what I'm experiencing is, at the same time, there's a level of stillness, of peace that I'm experiencing that means that I feel like I'm deep in meditation and completely unable to open my eyes. Simultaneously, those two experiences. And what's happening is the body's training itself, or the mind is training itself to experience a deep state of meditation and an awareness of what's going on around us at the same time. it's been trained over time to do that. This isn't something that happened when I first started to meditate. This is a relatively new experience. And that benefit I feel that peace when I come out of meditation. You know, my body's got the experience of experiencing some level of meditation and experiencing the outside world at the same time. And the more I do that in meditation, the more that's lasting as an effect into my waking day for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, potentially until all day. I maintain that level of meditation experience and stillness and peace and tranquility whilst I'm engaging in whatever it is I'm doing with my eyes open. And that's taken a few years, but it's a wonderful experience. It really is. It really is. I don't quite know how to fully grasp it just yet, but this is the best words I can use at this time.
That sounds like amazing sort of experience of calmness, and a peace in the body and a peace in the mind. That can be, that kind of experience, even if it's a small bit of that calm, where someone's thoughts stop for a few moments, can be make a meditation really rewarding and really something to explore.
I still have thoughts during these moments. You know, there's awareness of the external. There's a feeling of that I'm you know, physically in quite a restful state. But there's occasional thoughts that pop up as well. But I'm completely at peace with them. It doesn't disrupt any of this experience. It's almost like it's all part of the same experience. And it's a wonderful place to be. Wonderful place to be. But bringing it out into the world, as you just mentioned before, that's the whole point. You know, the whole point is to bring these qualities out. Otherwise, we would just sit and close our eyes for 24 hours a day. And that's not good to anybody. No.
I really like this idea that we're almost our own mentor or guru, or the experience something is. So we get these little glimpses of stuff, or bigger, or like it might be peace for a few moments, or that thing that you're talking about is a bigger experience. So we get these experiences of things, and then we think, well, yeah, I can do that in my life. Can I do that in my life? And they're really powerful. This is something you're kind of learning from yourself, or something maybe a higher self or something. But it's so much more powerful than reading a book or watching a YouTube video on something. I love how we kind of experience this, and then we naturally think, oh, go and put that into practice in my life. That's what it's all about.
Self-experience. You know, I had a conversation today. You can read 1,000 books on a topic. It's no good unless you experience it. You know, it's not a lived experience. It's just information or data. Experiencing it carries so much more weight. And as teachers, we can say to people, these are all the benefits that you can feel inside meditation and outside of meditation. But I'm really keen to explain to people that at the moment, these are just my words to you. They don't mean anything. You've got to experience it. And then when you experience it, then that becomes your motivation rather than someone else saying, this is what the benefits might be and this is why you should get into meditation. Once you feel it and you experience it and experience different things, recognizing that no two meditations are the same. That's when you start to go, okay, now my internal reference point is giving me some information. It's giving me some guidance and some experience to have this test of, you know, how am I feeling now compared to how I felt 2 weeks ago when I first started to meditate? Or how am I experiencing meditation differently? How's my attitude growing inside and outside of meditation from the benefits and experiences that I'm having when I close my eyes? And that continues to shift. Even years into meditation, it continues to shift. We have different experiences that give us different information and different progress checks or reality checks even. Really keen to tune into that internal messaging that we're receiving. And, you know, don't get too caught up in it, but it's a great guide for how we're doing in life, you know?
Yeah, I like what you say about not getting caught up on it, because definitely I've had experiences where I've been chasing it. Chasing experiences like no thought, me disappearing, and I'm like, next time I really want that to happen again. I really want that to happen again. But yeah, weirdly, by wanting it, it kind of makes it harder. Just learn to sort of go with and surrender to what happens. But they can be very motivating for a practice to have these sort of bigger moments, but also little moments of calm where maybe you don't have thought for a few moments, or you're just following the breath and like, actually it feels really nice. Can be really eye-opening, and a real motivator. I don't know if there's anything else, any other ideas coming through. I think they're the main things, is these moments of calm, the bigger experiences.
I wanted to ask you actually about benefits within meditation. You've experienced some physical shifts at times through your mindfulness or somatic practices. That must be a big signal that something's happening in terms of a benefit for you. So just describe those to me, because that's work that I don't necessarily do personally.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, what that might feel like is, it can be quite, not always positive to start with. It could be like, why am I always tight in the solar plexus?
Yeah.
What is there? What is going on there? What's all these old emotions? Or you can have all these thoughts about it. But when an area of the body just relaxes in a way that's perhaps not relaxed before, yeah, it can be really pleasant. It can be really grounding. For me, it's like the lower part of the body, and it felt really grounding, more presence. I will say though, it did lead to, it felt like the energy was moving up to my sort of chest area, my solar plexus, and then that was another thing to work on. So there's always something to work on.
Just moving it around the body.
Yeah, but I think it's like when I first experienced relaxation, I'd been practicing meditation and I'd been just doing a kind of head version of it, which was just not having thoughts, but I wasn't in touch with how I felt in the body. So there was perhaps all this energy going up to the head, emotional energy going up that I wasn't aware of. When I first relaxed the body fully, using somatics or progressive muscle relaxation or hypnotherapy, my mind went so calm. And it was a stillness that I'd not expected before. And that was a real motivator for me to like, it was not only a motivator because it felt good, it felt peaceful, it felt like real stillness, but also, what was I saying, it's not only, even talking about it wipes my mind, it's like, not only does it kind of feel good in the moment, but you kind of notice where in life you have tension. And that's tension in your behaviors as well as your muscles and your body and your emotions. So yeah, it's kind of empowering to wonder where I could put it into practice in life. But yeah, even now I can kind of connect to that place, and my mind just goes really blank, just because it's really peaceful and empty. I think there's actually, this is probably going on to a bit of a different topic, but I think there's another journey then from the stillness, like you said, about bringing it into life. It hit me really hard, that kind of relaxation, stillness, in a good way. Hit by peace and calm sounds weird, but it was a bit like that, and had to make lots of life changes. And yeah, I think I'm still kind of bringing in that kind of doing energy from that, coming out of that place of calm. Okay, so we've been talking about positive experiences in the meditation practice itself. What are the sort of takeaways, or what questions can people ask themselves regarding this?
I think asking themselves if they're experiencing a sense of calm. I'm assuming that most people want to meditate because they want to feel some sort of calmness, amongst many other things. But whatever people's reasons for wanting to meditate, whatever they may be, it's always good to just have a little look at your practice in eyes closed and eyes open, and just checking in every now and again. Are my motivations or my reasons or my purposes for meditating, are they being met? Do I think it's having some positive value on my life? Is my meditation practice being net positive in terms of the influence it's having on my life? And the biggest way is to look at outside meditation. What's going on in my life? Is my life improving? But really key of what we're talking about here is just checking in with your internal experience as well. Am I happy with my experience when I close my eyes? Do I think I'm getting it? Do I need any extra support or advice, or are there any questions that I have to ask? I'm feeling this and it's been on my mind for a couple of weeks now. Is this the right thing? Do other people feel this? You know, those kind of internal questions that we all have them. But important to get those addressed, I think, even if it's just for peace of mind or to say, yes, you're on the right track.
I love that. So this invitation to check in with what you're experiencing when you're practicing, and to maybe speak to someone.
Yeah.
And I really love speaking about it to people. And if you've got a teacher, fantastic. But if you've got someone that's also meditating, and you go and you say to them, every time I sit down, I have these big expectations, I get really annoyed.
Yeah.
And they might say to you, well, why are you doing it like that? And we need that as humans, I think. It doesn't have to come from the teacher. Some stuff does, but or someone more experienced. But yeah, a real invitation for someone to, if it's not going how you expected, talk to someone about it. People often see the things that we don't see in ourselves.
Yeah. A final tip would be to almost celebrate if you have what you perceive to be a frustrating meditation. Treat it as, why did I feel frustration? Why, when I closed my eyes, did a large part of that meditation or a certain part of it, why was I getting frustrated? What was causing me to feel some resistance or some friction or some pushback with the practice? And treating that as a lesson, just to inquire about your own experience and practice a little bit more, rather than just saying, I got frustrated, it's meditation. Why did you get frustrated? Because maybe there's something there about attitude or not feeling fully confident with your technique or something that was causing the frustration. So, piece of advice, if you feel a frustration, don't just take it as frustration. Take it as an opportunity to look at why you're getting frustrated, and is there something that you can learn from your approach to meditation that can smoothen out some of those creases moving forward. So a little bit of self-analysis will be really key to that, and just look at it non-judgmentally. Just observe your experience and see if you can, make some tiny refinements to your attitude or technique, and see if that can help you moving forward.
Yeah, nice.